Have you ever stayed silent? Not because you were weak, but because you already knew the truth would destroy everyone else. My name is Ethan Carter. This happened in Chicago, Illinois, and before that night ended, one arrogant joke cost someone an entire career, while my marriage stood on the edge of collapse. Emily and I had been married for 11 years, 2 kids, a quiet house in Naperville, weekend soccer games, barbecues with neighbors. From the outside, we looked like the kind of couple everyone envied. But appearances are dangerous. Emily had recently been promoted to director of marketing at a fast-growing technology company downtown. Longer hours became normal, late-night client dinners, weekend retreats, and one name kept appearing in every story: Brandon Hayes, vice president of sales. He's hilarious. Brandon keeps the whole office alive. Brandon says the funniest things. I never accused her of anything, because trust isn't built by surveillance, it's built by choice. Still, something felt different. Every time Brandon texted, Emily smiled at her phone. Every time I asked about him, she'd laugh. "Oh, Ethan, he's just my work friend." Just those are dangerous words. A month later came the company's annual gala, black tie, 5-star hotel, nearly 500 employees and executives. Emily asked me to attend as her guest. "Please come," she said. "It'll mean a lot." I agreed, not because I loved corporate parties, because I wanted to support my wife. That evening she looked stunning. Dark emerald gown, simple jewelry, hair elegantly pinned back. For a moment, she looked exactly like the woman I married, and I remembered why I had fallen in love with her. Maybe I'd been imagining everything. Maybe work stress had simply changed us. I wanted to believe that. Then Brandon arrived. He entered like he owned the ballroom. Expensive tuxedo, confident smile, always surrounded by people. He hugged Emily a little too comfortably. She didn't pull away. Instead, she laughed. Then he finally noticed me. "You must be Ethan." He shook my hand. Strong grip, long stare. The famous husband. Something about the way he said husband felt almost mocking. I smiled politely. "Nice to meet you." Dinner began. Executives filled our table. Wine flowed. Stories became louder. Everyone laughed harder with every glass. Then Brandon stood to make an unofficial toast. "I just want to recognize Emily." Everyone clapped. "She's brilliant." More applause. And honestly, he looked directly at her. "She deserves a real man after hours." The table exploded with laughter. Someone nearly spilled wine. Even the CEO chuckled. Then, Emily smiled. Not a nervous smile, not an uncomfortable one. She actually laughed. My chest tightened. I didn't say a word, because sometimes, silence lets people reveal who they really are. Brandon mistook my silence for weakness. Big mistake. He leaned closer. "You know why I can joke like that?" Another laugh. "I'm basically untouchable." Someone asked why. Brandon grinned proudly. "I'm the reason half this company's revenue exists." More applause. The board would never get rid of me. He raised his glass. "They need me." I slowly reached into my jacket, pulled out my phone, unlocked it, pressed one button, and placed it face up on the table. Nothing dramatic, no shouting, no threats, just one notification. Within seconds, Brandon's own phone buzzed, then another executive's, then the HR director's, then the CEO's. Every smile disappeared. 3 weeks earlier, one of my oldest college friends had called me, Nathan Brooks, partner at the outside law firm, representing Emily's company. He hadn't called about my marriage. He'd called because he knew my profession. "I'm legally allowed to ask for your technical opinion. I work in corporate cybersecurity, digital compliance, executive investigations." Nathan explained that anonymous reports claimed a senior executive had been using company devices to pursue inappropriate workplace relationships and transferring confidential client information through unauthorized messaging apps. He couldn't tell me who. But while reviewing evidence, I recognized something. Not the employee, the software. Someone had used modified encryption tools I'd personally helped develop years ago. I explained exactly how investigators could recover deleted records. Then I forgot about it. Until tonight, because just before dinner, Nathan texted me. They finished. The investigation was complete. The notification on my phone wasn't magic. It was the official announcement sent simultaneously to executive leadership. Senior Vice President Brandon Hayes. Immediate termination. Cause: gross misconduct, sexual harassment, misuse of company systems, violation of ethics policies, pending civil investigation. The CEO stared at Brandon. "You knew." Brandon's face turned white. "No." The HR director stood. "Brandon, we need you to come with us." He laughed nervously. "This has to be a mistake." Nobody laughed back. Within 30 seconds, he was escorted across the ballroom. Hundreds of employees watched. The loudest man in the room couldn't say another word. I stood quietly. "I think I'll get some air." Emily followed me outside. Neither of us spoke for almost a minute. Finally, she whispered, "You knew." I nodded. "I knew an investigation You set him up?" "No, he destroyed himself." Tears formed in her eyes. I swear I never had an affair. I believe you. She looked shocked. But, you still let another man disrespect your husband. Silence. You laughed. More silence. You watched everyone humiliate me. And you smiled. Her shoulders dropped. I didn't know what to do. You stand beside your husband. That's what you do. She began crying. Real crying. Not because Brandon had been fired, because she finally understood what she had done. The drive home felt longer than any trip we'd ever taken. For days. We barely spoke. Then Emily did something unexpected. She resigned. Not because anyone forced her, because she realized every promotion she'd chased had cost pieces of our marriage. She entered counseling. So did I, marriage counseling too. Not because our relationship was perfect, because it was worth fighting for. Healing wasn't quick. Trust never returns overnight. It comes back one honest conversation at a time, one apology at a time, one difficult choice at a time. A year later, we attended our daughter's school concert. Emily reached for my hand, not because anyone was watching, because she wanted to. After the performance, she smiled at me. The same genuine smile I'd fallen in love with years earlier. Not the polite corporate smile, not the forced networking smile, the real one. Sometimes the greatest victory isn't exposing the person trying to destroy your marriage, it's discovering whether your marriage still has something worth saving. That night at the gala, Brandon lost his career. But Emily and I almost lost something far more valuable. Thankfully, we chose to rebuild it instead, and that made all the difference. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below.